The fuck? Damn. Damn. Kitty cat. I would be glad that. Oh, fuck that. Nah. No. Oh. Nope. Nope. No. Nope. Holy shit. Yo, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mark, and today we're back with another reaction and review of Daemons of the Shadow Realm, episode 12. Now, this is not the season finale, which I'm glad for. It's actually, this could be like a back-to-back chorus, so this could continue into the summer season, which I'm happy about. But as always, you can check out the reaction to it in the description down below. The link should take you directly to it. And if you become a member, you get a shout out at the beginning of all my videos. And while you're down there, make sure that like button, subscribe, the notification bell, like the video. And once you're done with the reaction, come back here for the review. Or you can check out the review after the reaction after the review. Who knows? It's up to you. You have free will. You definitely have free will, 100%. Anyways, with that said, if you're new here, strap in. If you've been here before, you know what to do. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab your notebooks, because I took quite a bit of notes, and let's talk about the episode. So, this episode starts out with Yuru making arrows. Homemade, because of course he does. Of course Yuru, of all people, would make arrows. It'd be even stranger if he went and bought arrows from someone, assuming there are places that sell arrows. I'm pretty sure we had this conversation before, like a few episodes ago. But anyways, he's making some arrows. Ken is watching him, and Ken's like, "You make your arrows yourself, man?" And Yuru's like, "Yeah, I'm basically mostly self-taught." And he was always alone in the mountains, and that was kind of depressing. I mean, I'm happy for him that like he's got the survival skills, but also being alone in the mountains all the time, that's kind of sad. Kind of sucks, man. Damn, man. The more I think about it, the more depressed it makes me. Poor guy. And we know it's from a young age, too. So, like, he had to learn all this from, like, a very young age. Dude. Damn, the more I think about it, the more depressed I get. Poor guy. But, Ken, he's very fascinated by watching this. And so he's like, "Yo, Yuru, teach me how to use a weapon." And, honestly, and of course Yuru says yes, because Ken says he wants to become stronger, which, legitimately, can't even blame the guy for wanting to learn to use a weapon, man. Like, but at this point, there's no way that Ken can truly escape danger from now on, because one, he's with the Tadera clan. He's Dera's half brother. I can't really say Tadera. I can say Dera-san, but I can't say Tadera. I can't say it fast. But he's Dera-san's half brother, so already he's in the thick of like everything going on, bro, just by virtue of being his half brother. And so like you're just like, "Yo, sure, why not? I'll teach you. I guess I'll teach you, fine." And I'm happy for him. Meanwhile, moving on. Where the hell am I? Oh, okay. I have stuff written down in the order of like what happens, but I don't always have like it could go like 1, 2, 3, or it could go 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, sort of like that. So I found it. Alright, so anyways, moving on from that scene to the Kagemori's house. Jin is there with the girl whose name we were reminded by her is Makoto, with her 2 daemons, the one that's a raccoon dog, or tanuki, I think. And the other ones, I don't remember what the other one is. It's really cute, though. They're both really cute. And Jin called her there because they want to find out where the gate is for, like, that they came in, that's non-existent. But before that, though, we get to learn about Makoto's daemons. So, as it turns out, they're great for kidnapping. So, hear me out. This is what, according to her, this is what they do to kidnap. So there's Akai, and Midori. Midori is the raccoon dog, the tanuki. Akai is the other one. Akai can transform into people and lure people, basically using like a honey trap. And can't believe I'm saying this one, but Midori, the raccoon dog, the tanuki, apparently their balls are special. And so Midori's balls stretch 8 times bigger and become like a net. Damn, man, I can't. It's so funny. And like, she was saying that basically with a straight face, man. Meanwhile, Hana-chan and wait, not Hana, Gabby-chan and Asa, they're thinking about that. They're like, oh, they're becoming horrified. And then that's when Asa's like, you better not be having her kidnap my brother. But then just like, don't worry, she's there to take a look at the non-existent gate in the west, on the west wall. But we also learn a little bit of a history fact, a fun fact, I'm not sure. But Midori, the raccoon dog, the tanuki, once fought in the Shikoku Tanuki War. What the fuck? What Shikoku Tanuki War? Why are tanukis having a war? Over what? When? Where? Where are the tanukis having this war? Why? Do they just like decide, oh, one day we're just gonna have a giant war? Or like... What the fuck? Anyways, moving on from that funny stuff, they go to where the west wall is, and they're lo and behold, there's no gate. But they look closer, and they find some very clean lines that are possibly, that Jin-san at first is like, possibly from a razor blade or a razor, but then he's like, no, something sharper. And that's cool. And so that's cool. So, and there's 2 of them, 2 lines, the perfect width of a gate, which is like, it's not surprising. I called it, that they just had, that they have a daemon or someone that can make gates. Meanwhile, moving on to a different time, there's a hotel we're at, and there's a guy named Shingo-sama who has a guest. That guest, take a guess. I'll give you 3 guesses. It's a Kagemori. Yep, it's Osma. Of course it's Osma. And turns out this is Osma's uncle. Which, damn, man. Osma got some bad luck with an uncle, man. Meanwhile, I also wrote down that Osma's uncle looks like trouble. Because he does, man. He looks like a stereotypical, like what you'd think a mobster would be in an anime. It's maybe not a mobster, more like a gangster, like a street thug. Like, he looks like one. I'm just saying, it's you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But when it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's probably a mobster gangster duck. And so we also learned one of the reasons. At first I was like, is he actually his uncle? Because like, it could have been like a blood uncle or like a adoptive uncle, but no, this is definitely the blood uncle. And apparently he avoids the manor because he could come visit Osma, because he apologized for having Osma be the one to always come out there. But Osma's like, you could always come to the manor, you would not be harmed. But Shingo is like, nah, I'm good. I don't want the guy's blacklist Daemons to get my information, which honestly it's valid. That is actually a really valid reason for it. And so now they're talking. Then they get on to business. They're talking about, or at least Osma's giving more like a report on what happened with the attack. And so he's like, and so Shingo's like, why didn't you try to take the seal? You should have taken him, or something like that. And like, they're just like, he's just telling him why he should have done, what he should have done. But then Osma says like something. I don't remember what he said exactly. But at that point when they were talking, I genuinely was like, are they involved in the attack, or were they just happen to be like interested in the opportunity that the attack provides? Because, hold on one second. because I thought there genuinely could be a possibility that like they weren't actually involved. They're just like ready to take advantage of the opportunity. But by the end of this conversation, I'm convinced that they actually were involved, and you'll see why pretty quickly. But first, we get some trauma for Osma, and Shingo calling Osma as useless as his mother, which, damn, I don't hate Osma. I don't love him. I'm not a fan of him. I'm a fan of his design, but I'm not a fan of him as a character. Okay, that's a lie. I like his character. I respect his character. I don't love him. If he died, I probably would be sad. Probably wouldn't be sad realistically. But damn, that's mean. Calling him as useless as his mother. And so, he also at one point before he said that, he was like, "Yo, get Asa on your side. Sweet talk her if you have to." But then Asuma's like, it's illegal for an adult to flirt with a minor, a 16-year-old girl, and that's obvious. That's like some obvious stuff. But the guy's like, "What are you, a square?" I have no idea what that means. Is that like a rule follower? When you call someone a square, you're calling them a rule follower? I'm guessing that's what you're calling them, a rule follower. But whatever. Hold on, let me make this. Okay, close enough, I think, for now. Meanwhile, Osma's like, "Yo, I gave my report. I'm out of here, man." So he leaves. But not before he leaves a butterfly behind, because honestly, smart move. Leaving a butterfly behind. And so, turns out they were involved in the attack, and the reason we know that now, because the sword guy, whose name we didn't know at the time, I don't think. We might have known it already. I just forgot. But sword guy, he shows up. He was hiding in a different room. Osma didn't know about him. And he cuts down the butterfly that Osma left behind. And he's like, "You should be training your nephew better." And he's like all aura farming and stuff. Like, damn, man. Save some aura for the rest of everyone else, man. And so meanwhile, going back to the Dedo-san and them. Dedo-san and Hana-chan are talking about how kids having one kid already is a lot to take care of, but having two, damn, man. And that's fair, honestly, can't blame her. She didn't sign up to take care of two kids, just one. Meanwhile, Dedo's like, don't worry about Ken-kun, man, he's fine. He's got his shit together, he's well put together. He's self-sufficient, all that jazz. And like, he's all good. But then Hana-chan, in her infinite wisdom and definitely speaking from experience, she's like, the kids who try the hardest to be good are the most emotionally exhausted. And that's, damn, that's so true. It's like, yeah, that's definitely true, man. It's always the kids that are pushing the hardest, that like either because they have to or because they have no other choice or something like that. But like, damn, man. Yeah, she's definitely speaking from experience, so you can tell. I want to know more about Hannah's backstory. Hannah? Yeah, Hannah. Gabby is the other girl. Yeah, Hannah. I want to know about Hannah, man, and Gabby. I want to know more about all the characters, bro. We're 12 episodes in and we barely know anything about most of the side characters. Meanwhile, Hannah and them, they're looking for a missing persons report on Yuru's mother, Nagisa. And they found it. Turns out it's a hiking report from before Yuru was born, which obviously makes sense. And it's a missing persons report. They might have found Yuru's grandparents as well, because they know her last name is Kinjo, Nagisa Kinjo, which apparently Kinjo is like one of the most common names in Okinawa. Yeah, Okinawa. Which, that sucks, man. And so, moving on from that, we're seeing Osma. We're going back and forth a lot, which honestly, I'm glad. Osma is telling Jin about telling Dedo-san and them. And I'm so curious, because they're not on the same side at all. Sure, like they're siblings, yeah, but they're not on the same side. And yet, And so I was like, why is he telling him? But then, Osma says 2 of them died at the lost house. Because it was a lost house, apparently. Which, yeah, we knew that one. And 2 died. One was a 19-year-old guy and a 40-year-old guy. I think a 40-year-old guy or a 40-year-old woman. And Osma, he's a pragmatist. He's like, now we have 2 identities that we can use as we please because they have no family, so we can just alter the register to be like, yo, they're still alive. We have 2 identities. And damn, man. And so he's like, and I mean, like, that's morbid, but it's kind of valid. I mean, okay, identity fraud is not good. Don't do it. But in their situation, I mean, fair enough, man. Meanwhile, also, Osma's like, damn, it's a shame that we can't have a dead 16-year-old girl's identity we can use. It's so hard to find dead 16-year-old girls that are alone with no family or friends. And he sounds so disappointed. And I'm like, no, duh. That's a good thing if they aren't so alone, if they have friends and family. That's a good thing. Most of the time. But, like, again, Osma's he's a morbid pragmatist. Which, again, fair enough. But it doesn't mean I have to like him. Like what he said. But I can accept that it's a valid thought. And meanwhile, on the top of that, we learn that Asa's grandma is calling. And the grandma apparently hopes that Nagisa, their mother, will return home. But while she is still well, she wants to see Asa just once. And so that was sad. That made me sad. I made a sad face. I don't know if I could show it well, but like, it's kind of a sad face. It's not a great sad face, but it's a sad face. I wrote it down, and as I was writing it down, I had this thought. Are we sure this is actually the grandma? I don't know why. I honestly don't remember what it was that was like gnawing at me, but something was gnawing at me as like, huh. I don't know, something's off. Turns out, something's off. Because as we're about to learn, this is not the first time she's called Asa. And it's the calling Asa, it's the same speech. The same everything, the same way she says it. Everything's the exact same. It's too perfect. And as we learn, next scene, someone is controlling the grandmother, and nah, the creature's doing it ugly as fuck. Those are some ugly motherfuckers, bro. They're like spiders with like faces or masks on top. They're like the Demon Slayer spiders, those tiny little things. If you've seen Demon Slayer, you know what I'm talking about. They're like that, but honestly a little creepier. Oh, I hate spiders, bro. Oh, spiders are awful. They're ugly. Spiders are the worst things to ever exist, man. And so that's sad. I was sad when I said that. I was like, damn, she's dead probably. So damn. And Asa is sad at the thought or reminder that her grandmother is not with them anymore. And so the yin and yang demons, they're like, aw, they can't say anything, but they're like trying to comfort her, which was so sweet. Sad, but sweet. And I also wrote another sad face. Let me see if I show it again. This is a better sad face. There we go. That's a better sad face. Right there. I wrote that. And before we get to the we're not even at the end of the show yet. This is like the mid-roll. But just before we reach the mid-roll credits, Gabby's like, yo, scumbags. Just that. And so, meanwhile, back with Derrida again. They decide, I'm just going to paraphrase and speed up, they decide that the grandparents are a dead end. Which, yeah, valid. Because if they weren't a dead end, then they'd just be leading them into trouble. But, like, yeah, there's just no reason going after them. And so Derrida's like, yo, we're going to focus on the lead, on my predecessor. Time to go to a shaman. And, I mean, fair enough, man. Some spiritual guidance doesn't hurt, I guess. And so, next up we meet a guy whose name we later learned is Yama-san. I called him the Fat Shaman. That became my title for him, the Fat Shaman. I wasn't sure if he was the shaman or if he was the shaman's assistant. So I left a space here between the Fat Shaman and like whatever else I was gonna write, because I was gonna be like, is he the assistant or is he the actual shaman? If he's the assistant, I'll leave space so I can write assistant. But nope, he's the Fat Shaman. I wrote down he has cute but creepy tiny daemons, and the more we see of them, the less creepy they were, the cuter they got. But they were kind of creepy because one of them had a mustache, and it was adorable, but kind of creepy with the mustache at first. But they got there eventually. Meanwhile, the Daemons. Meanwhile, Daemon is telling the shaman about the village attack. Asa and Yuru, and just like everything. And while he's doing that, the cute Daemons are just like, we're gonna make some tea. They make some tea, they pour it. It's really adorable. And this whole time, it's not. And like they also waved when they first saw Daemon. They wave. He also waved back, and like he's being so polite to them. And it's just so sweet, man. Just seeing him like give them the politeness that they're giving him in return. I just like him, man. I just like when people are nice to the Daemons or animals or whatever. Just like, it doesn't hurt to be nice to creatures that aren't human. And so eventually they decide that the shaman, he's gonna go to the village in Dera-san's place, because Dera can't go in there for now because he's got to watch over Yuru. And the shaman recalls that he was attacked by a guy with, say it with me, a katana, or in this case 2 katanas. But then he's like, no, they might have been Daemons. And it was late at night in the streets, but there was no cuts, which was already suspicious. I knew the minute that there were no cuts, I was like, ooh, there's something off. Was it like invisible cuts or something, or was this like a threat? I don't know, but it was suspicious. And so Dera-san leaves, and Yama, he's the shaman. We cut to him at the village, which, I mean, fair enough. We are getting a lot of different perspectives, which I'm not complaining about. Damn, there's a lot of perspectives we're getting. And so he's at the village now, and the kids run up and hug him because they're happy to see him. They're Yama-san, and it's adorable and sweet, man. And after that, he starts treating everybody, the ones that were injured, that he can at least. And then there's a poor Azami, I think. She, the one who saw her mother get beheaded by Gabi-chan, which, damn. Like, the fact that her eyes are just dead inside. Valid. She's so valid for that, man. And so, after all that, it's all said and done with treating them. Yama's just talking with a couple of villagers. And they're like, man, we should have gotten Seal sooner. If we do that, we can take revenge. We can fight back, stuff like that. They're getting all like mustered their like voices and stuff. It's pointless, honestly. And Yama-san, he's like, no humans are strong enough to beat him, because they talking about Yuru. And he's like, yeah, there are no humans strong enough to take him. You have to like get a hostage, stuff like that. But then the new guy's like, yeah, you're right. And then we see a sword sticking out of the front of Yama. Then it cuts him open. And then, I kid you not, a dude pops out. The same dude, mind you, that we saw with Osma's uncle. And the same dude who attacked Yama-san. He's standing there. Like there's a giant hole in Yama. He was hidden inside Yama. Kind of. It's an interesting question. Katana cut open Yama and climbed out. I wrote down what the fuck, because again, I don't know how, but he did. And then I wrote down his cuts create a separate space, and I don't know. Like, the theory I had by the end of this was, does he create like does it like whatever he cuts with both blades, if it has, does it like create a space that width, or does it matter if it's like just one blade just cutting twice, or like what are because it's the swords are obviously 2 daemons, probably. If they aren't, and this is just some random power the dude has, fair enough, but obviously 2 daemons. But does he need to have them both together to activate the power? Or do they each have their own abilities, or is it just one? I have questions. I'm really curious about his abilities. His daemons, man. He looks cool too. Also, his name is Ivan Yosano. Yosano Ivan. Which, cool name. And then the 3 guys are the 3 guys that were the villagers with Yama. They're like, what the hell happened? Where did he come from? But then he's like, oh, you can't, alright. The daemons are invisible to you. Then he just cuts their heads off. And I'm just like, like, damn, man. No hesitation, bro. Just, I mean, fair enough. But, like, damn. And then, that's basically where it ends. And, like, again, fair enough. The only question I have now is, what's going to happen to Yama-san? What's going to happen to the villagers? What's going to happen to the children of the village? What's going to happen to, okay, I thought something. Is the Asa, the fake Asa, going to fight this Yosano guy? That's the only thought I have. I mean, that would make sense. I don't know how. But I imagine that's probably what's going to happen, right? Because someone's going to put up a fight against Yosano. There's no way he's just going to kill everyone. The village is too... This village is too important of a entity to be easily beaten like this. So obviously they're going to fight back. They're probably going to survive, at least some of them. Granny Yamaha might survive. The fake Awesome probably will survive. But like, yeah. But yeah, those are my thoughts. That's my reaction if you saw it. And if you haven't, go check out the Patreon down below to check out a reaction. Thank you for watching this review. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. Again, the Patreon's down below for all that. You get a shout out at the beginning of my videos. You also get exclusive whenever I end up posting them. And the summer season is almost upon us. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing for going forward for the summer. If I'm going to be doing this still, or if I'm going to like somehow have a laptop that I can use. I don't know. It's all about. Unfortunately, the kind of laptop I need, not cheap. But anyways, I am going to wrap it up here. Let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, my name is Mark. Never stop being yourself. Stay safe, and I will see all you incredible people in the very next video.